So what have we done? Well, we've shut down the pill mills. You know, we now have protocols on the people that prescribe these prescription drugs, and they can't willy-nilly just give out what they want, you know, and so we've got protocols there, and they seem to be working. Do you have those statistics, Connie, on the 40% drop of kids who are taking illegal drugs, you know, prescription drugs? We used to have, I got to get these, we'll get these numbers to you, but we think we're seeing progress. Then we're busting people, you know, local law enforcement, the sheriff, local, you know, the highway patrol. And then we also have Start Talking now, and, you know, that we're trying to spread in all the schools, and you can really help us with this. This is, we know that if kids here don't do drugs, there's a 50% chance they won't do them. 50% greater likelihood they won't do them. So we're going into all the schools. We're now doing, you know, webinars and everything else so that teachers are constantly telling kids to stay away from drugs, and we're reaching out to parents and everybody else. You see this rise of heroin. Part of that is because the prescription drugs are harder to get and the heroin is cheaper. So, you know, it's sort of like a balloon. You stop one end and the other, but part of what happened is the prescription drugs were so available that we hooked like an entire generation. And once they got hooked, then, you know, they went to other stuff. So look, it all has to, we just have to keep at it, and so it's a big deal. It's a very big deal. Kroger ran a program in September with a website to, you know, Start Talking, trying to educate people how to talk to kids about it, although it's not that complicated. In terms of education, look, we've taken now vocational education down to the 7th grade, and one of the things that, I mean, I just think our guidance counselors need to be more honored. They need to spend more time advising kids and not having to perform other duties. In November, there's going to be a website that's going to tell kids about jobs that exist, what they pay, and how you get one. It'll be available to every kid, but my vision on this is really simple. We need kids, and this is part of our community connectors, where companies can go into the schools, I would hope, in an orderly way and talk to kids about things that are potential. We need to have a flexible education system that responds to the passions and the skills and of our kids, and our people that graduate from K through 12 and go to the 2-year and the 4-year school. So I was told the other day, Columbus State has 28,000 students and they have 7 guidance counselors. Now I don't know if those numbers are exactly right, but that doesn't work. You know, when somebody goes in that school, somebody should be there to say, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? And then let us help you to see what's available, and let us help guide you to get this education, to get the skills to do it. Pumping up vocational education is important, and the thing that people need to understand, one thing we need to do, Connie, is we need to meet with these folks more often. Because you're the heart of the place, and you need to hear these things because you can help us to get the word out on this stuff. But vocational education is really interesting. I am told that about the same percentage of kids who are in vocational education go to college as kids who are into regular academic. So when we were young, some of us, some of you still are young, if you went into that kind of thing, people said, well, you're just never going to go to college. Now, maybe they won't go, but the idea that you're in vocational education and you won't go on to get more education is false today. And so, you know, I find there are a lot of kids that really get excited about being involved with hands-on kind of learning a skill or something where they get a credential and they get pumped up about what they're doing. Education has to be geared towards getting kids excited. Now, one of the things I've asked our superintendent to do is to take a look at all these tests that are being administered, because we've got to make sure that our teachers do not feel like every time they turn around there's another test, they're being banged over the head. We want our teachers to be honored, and we want them to be free to show, you know, to develop the kind of flexibility in the school where the kids can find a pathway to success. We're working with about 30 superintendents right now to develop, you know, listen to them. What flexibility do you need? How do you want, and we'll see where we go on this. This is a big deal because every state struggles with workforce. Every state, you know, how many people you think, how many kids in school are told, hey, by the way, did you know you could become a welder and make $80,000 a year? I mean, how many kids hear that? But they should hear it, because some kids, frankly, are born to make things, to build things, you know? And along with it, we should be teaching entrepreneurship. You know, you go into a skill, you want to be a welder, well, maybe you can own a welding company, you know? I mean, we need to be... You got it, I said it. You got it.
I want to change the topic once